Every year, thousands of people visit Costa Rica and wonder the same thing. What if I didn't have to leave? What if this wasn't a vacation? What if this could be home? From relocation and real estate to lifestyle, family, business, and community, this is the Breakthrough to Costa Rica podcast, presented by All in Guanacaste, your guide to life on Costa Rica's Pacific Gold Coast.
Welcome back to the Breakthrough to Costa Rica podcast presented by All in Guanacaste. I'm Rob.
And I'm Jen.
Today we're talking about something that probably doesn't get discussed enough.
Why some people move to Costa Rica, live here for a year or two, and then leave.
Not because they run out of money, not because they get deported, not because Costa Rica suddenly stops being beautiful, but because the reality doesn't match what they expected.
Which is a little uncomfortable to talk about, because when people are planning a move, they usually want to hear success stories.
Exactly. Nobody spends 2 years dreaming about paradise and then says, tell me all the reasons this might not work. But if you're considering a move, understanding the challenges is just as important as understanding the benefits. And honestly, most of the people who struggle aren't failing because Costa Rica failed them. They're struggling because they brought unrealistic expectations with them.
I'll agree with that. Costa Rica isn't a magic wand.
No, you still wake up as yourself. If you're stressed in Canada, you'll probably still be stressed in Costa Rica. If you're disorganized in Texas, you'll probably still be disorganized in Tamarindo. The scenery changes, you don't automatically change.
That's funny because I think a lot of people secretly imagine moving here will solve every problem. Like they'll arrive at the airport and suddenly become a different person.
The airline hasn't invented that service yet.
Maybe one day.
Instead of first class, Pura Vida class, $20 extra, and they transform your personality during the flight.
I'd pay for that.
One of the biggest reasons people struggle is expectations. People visit for a week, maybe two. They stay in a beautiful vacation rental. They eat at restaurants. They watch sunsets. And they think that's what daily life is going to feel like forever.
But eventually you need groceries. You need banking. You need insurance.
You need internet. You need to figure out why the water pressure suddenly changed. And now you're not on vacation anymore. You're living here. The beach is still beautiful. But now you're also dealing with normal life. Another issue is isolation. People move here because they want a slower lifestyle. What they don't realize is they've also left behind their support network. Friends, family, coworkers, neighbors, sports teams, church groups, everything.
I think people underestimate how much of their identity is connected to community.
You can have the nicest house in Costa Rica, but if you're lonely, the view only helps so much. Eventually, people need connection. They need relationships. And the people who thrive here are usually the people who actively build those things.
That's one thing I've noticed. The happiest expats don't just move here. They participate here. They volunteer.
They join gyms. They attend community events. They make an effort. Then there's the pace. And this is where some people listening are probably already smiling because they know what we're talking about.
The famous Costa Rica timeline.
The one where something takes 3 days or 3 weeks or 3 months and nobody seems particularly stressed about it.
Exactly.
North Americans are often very efficiency focused. Costa Rica is more relationship focused. Neither approach is necessarily wrong. They're just different. But some people never adapt. They spend years being frustrated, years trying to make Costa Rica behave like the place they left. And that can be exhausting. Money is another factor, not because Costa Rica is impossibly expensive, but because some people arrive with unrealistic budgets. They compare local prices to vacation prices, or they compare Costa Rica today to Costa Rica 15 years ago. Neither is particularly useful.
Costa Rica can absolutely be affordable, but it isn't automatically cheap.
People who plan realistically tend to do well. People who assume everything will somehow work itself out often struggle. One thing that surprises me is how many people never really integrate, and eventually they start feeling disconnected.
They're physically in Costa Rica, but mentally they're still living somewhere else.
The people who seem happiest are usually adaptable. They embrace differences. They learn. They shrug it off when things don't go according to plan. And trust me, things won't always go according to plan. So let's flip the question. Why do some expats succeed?
That's a much better topic because the answer is actually encouraging.
The people who succeed tend to have flexible expectations. They understand that moving here isn't about recreating their old life. It's about building a new one. They stay active, they get involved, they keep learning, and most importantly, they give themselves time because adjustment takes longer than people think.
I think that's it. Give yourself a grace period.
Some days you'll love everything, some days you'll miss home. That's normal. And if you stick with it, build community, and stay open-minded, Costa Rica can become far more than a vacation destination. It can become home.
So if you're considering a move, don't ask yourself whether Costa Rica is perfect.
Ask yourself whether you're willing to adapt, because Costa Rica isn't trying to become Canada or the US or anywhere else. It's Costa Rica, and that's exactly why people fall in love with it.
Pura vida.
And if you're thinking about moving, investing, retiring, or simply learning more about life on Costa Rica's Gold Coast, visit us at allinguanacaste.com
Stay warm.
or come south.